For those that are avid baseball fans like myself, I just got news and I just got word that Hall of Famer Willie Mays just passed away just now, and he was
Wow.
93.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Say Hey Kid.
Mm-hmm.
Willie Mays was considered the first 5-tool player. And still, to most people that watch baseball, the greatest baseball player ever. That is an amazing coming out of Negro Leagues, playing for the New York Giants and San Francisco Giants. And when you're talking about a giant in baseball, and you're talking about black, when you know how they say that Mount Rushmore for especially the older people,
Oh
that
yeah.
when baseball was something. So you're talking Willie Mays, you're talking Jackie Robinson, you're talking Hank Aaron, you're talking Bob Gibson. These are people, and I'm talking about these are people that played in Major League. I'm not going back to Cool Papa Bell and those guys. I'm talking about the integrated and things like that. And Willie Mays literally was one of my grandmother's heroes. So, like I say, that is just utterly, you know. But Willie again lived a full life. He was so well respected, and again, you will definitely see a lot talked about on sports about Willie Mays, because Willie Mays, there was no player honestly during this time that was greater than Willie Mays.
Yeah. And he is the godfather of Barry Bonds. So
Okay, so I'm gonna just take this little time out just to read this. Willie Mays, baseball's electrifying Say Hey Kid, dies at 93. Recently, in the past week, they did announce that they are going to be importing all of the Negro Leagues stats into the MLB, if I remember correctly.
that is correct.
Let me see. Yes, so the MLB is adding Negro League stats. It gives Black players long overdue credit. The Major League Baseball, and this was literally not even, I think it was yesterday. They've officially added player stats from the Negro League to its historical record. It's a move that allows Black players' contributions to be credited alongside their white counterparts. Previously, Negro League players were omitted from these archives, meaning the records they set were not acknowledged by the MLB, essentially erasing their successes. The change incorporates Negro League's players' stats from a time when baseball was still segregated and Black players were barred from playing in the major leagues. Following the addition, Black athletes from the Negro Leagues now hold several records, including the highest career batting average, .372, held by former Homestead Grays player Josh Gibson. This decision marks a major step in commemorating and honoring the gameplay of 2,300 players in the Negro Leagues, and it's long overdue. So this just happened right before, of course, Willie Mays passed away. You said that he did this afternoon? Doc, you said this afternoon?
That was just probably about just recently, so probably like earlier this evening.
Okay. Willie Mays opened his big league career with a confidence rattling 0 for 12 stretch before finally blasting a home run off Warren Spahn early in 1951. I'll never forgive myself, Spahn later joked. We might have gotten rid of Willie forever if I'd only struck him out. Instead, to the delight of everyone except opposing pitchers, Mays' home run atop the left field roof at the Polo Grounds served as a warning blast for one of the longest and most exhilarating careers in baseball history. Mays, who died Tuesday at the age of 93, still represents the gold standard for an all-around ball player and might do so forever. He could hit, run, field, and throw with equal aplomb. If he could cook, I'd marry him, manager Leo DeRocher once said. No cause of death was listed. San Francisco Giants announced of Mays' passing Tuesday evening. My father passed away peacefully and among loved ones, Michael Mays said as part of Giants' announcement. I want to thank you from the bottom of my broken heart for your unwavering love you've shown him over the years. You have been his life's bud. Beyond his skills and his gaudy stats, Mays brought an irresistible ebullience to the diamond. The Say Hey Kid performed with a showman's flair, making basket catches in center field, taking daring chances on the base paths, winning 4 home run crowns, 12 Gold Glove awards, and laughing all along with the gleeful, high-pitched voice. That's what his idea was to please the crowd. The late Giants reliever Stu Miller observed. Mays even wore a cap one size too large to ensure that it would fly off cinematically whenever he darted across the field. With his incandescent style, Mays forever made the game look fun, whether it was dazzling in a Giants uniform or playing stickball with the kids on St. Nicholas Avenue and 155th Street in his Harlem neighborhood, sometimes on the same day. As Dodger executive Branch Rickey once said, Mays' greatest attribute was the frivolity in his bloodstream that doubles his strength with laughter. Oh, man.
Hey, Timon, let me just add one quick thing, which for a lot of people that are baseball fans, they were, and this is what's so, well, I'm going to say unfortunate because Willie Mays lived such an amazing long life. They were having, which they're doing right now, but the main game they're having at Rickwood Field, which is in Birmingham, Alabama, home of the Birmingham Black Barons that Willie Mays actually played in, and the San Francisco Giants and the St. Louis Cardinals were going to play on Thursday, and I'm pretty sure if Willie had been up straight, they would have had him there. So unfortunately, he did not get to see this legacy game that he basically built that legacy of the Birmingham Black Barons. So I know he's going to be amazingly honored during that game, like I said, on Thursday. And if any of you all get a chance, I just to see the pageantry that's going to happen in that game and learn a little bit of Black history, because one thing about it, I want to say, I'm going to do Mr. Ford for the young people. Major League Baseball was a catalyst to the civil rights movement. It wasn't basketball. It wasn't football. It was baseball that opened up a lot of doors that helped spur on the civil rights movement. And because of the Negro Leagues, and then people like Willie Mays and Hank Aaron and people like that, Jackie Robinson. So again, I want all of you all to take the time, learn a little bit of your history and see how important baseball, Black baseball history, has affected all of our lives.
Just in conclusion, he spent 23 seasons in the majors, batting .301 with 660 home runs, 339 stolen bases, and 3,293 hits. He won 2 NL MVP awards, a number that looks like an injustice through the retroactive lens of modern analytics. By WAR, Mays was the best player in the National League 9 times.
And remember, I'm gonna say you something. He is one of 4 players to hit for 50 home runs and steal 20 bases in a season.
Oh wow! So, condolences to Willie Mays. Thank you, Mr. Campbell, for your insight on the history of Willie Mays and the impact that Black players had on moving the civil rights movement.
I've just got back from watching the Atlanta Braves and Detroit Tigers.
Oh,
yeah.
Did you hear the news?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I was definitely going to mention the late, great Willie Mays, who was one of my heroes growing up. When you talk about the people of the 60s, when I started watching baseball, it was Willie Mays, Frank Robinson, Hank Aaron, Lou Brock, Bob Gibson, Rod Carew. Those were the people. And Willie Mays at that time was the face of baseball. Yeah.
Mr. Ford, Mr. Campbell was bringing up historically, and I guess quickly you can probably expound on it, which was that the baseball ushered in civil rights more so than any other sport. That was his premise.
Yeah. Now let's see. Yeah, it was the first of football, professional baseball, professional basketball. The first one to have a black was the Major League Baseball. Now let's get this. One of the things we got to correct: Jackie Robinson was not the first black professional baseball player. There were professional black baseball players in the 1880s. What pushed blacks out of the Major League Baseball was something called Plessy versus Ferguson. And then the owners of the major leagues at that time had a handshake agreement that they would not allow blacks to play in the major leagues. That was a guy by the name of Moses Fleetwood Walker. You can go back and look him up. He played in the 1880s. And there were some other black players that were in the major leagues during the 1880s. One of them created what we call the catcher's shin guard. Now, the reason he invented the shin guards was because he played second base, and when the white ball players would come in, they would try to cut him with their spikes. And that's why he created the shin guard. Now, we know shin guards are now worn by catchers, but it was a black baseball player who created them. Yeah. So, like I said, Jackie Robinson reintegrated baseball. He was not the first black baseball player in Major League Baseball.
Well, thank you for the background on baseball.
And you know, Willie Mays was a great high school football player. You know that, right?
Mr. Ford, I did not know that.
Yeah, he went to a school in Birmingham called Parker High School. He was from that area where Miles College is. That's called
Burfield.
What's it called?
Burfield.
You said Burfield?
Fairfield.
Fairfield. That's right. That's where he was actually from. But like Atlanta, all the blacks in the Birmingham area at that time went to Parker High, which was in Birmingham. Okay, that's right. He was from Fairfield. Now, his senior year, the principal of the high school declared him ineligible because during the summer before his senior year, he helped the Birmingham Black Barons win the Negro League World Series as a high school kid. And so when he came back to school, because he was outstanding running back and an outstanding quarterback, and they declared that he was ineligible because he had played professional baseball. Because remember now, he was with the Giants at 19 years of age. When Bobby Thompson in 1951 hit what they call the shot heard around the world, Willie Mays was on deck circle.
Parker is near Legion Field down the street.
Yeah, Parker High School. Yeah. That school turned out many greats. Leon Douglas, I think, who was one of the all-time great basketball players at the University of Alabama in the 70s. He came from that school. There's so many. They had a rivalry at one time. I think they used to play schools here in Atlanta, like Booker T. Washington High School. But, yeah, they had a serious athletic tradition at Parker High School. One of the main people that they turned out was Willie Mays.